Guys, Romie here. So this is Quantico Season 2, Episode 8. What is it? ODENVY? Recap. Now, the episode starts off with, of course, the fact that Miranda is trying to figure out, alright, how can I operate the AIC when now all of a sudden there's a, this U.S. Army leader, she's coming and taking over Miranda's case, and Miranda has less control than ever. But Shelby gets a call from Alex because Alex is trying to figure out, alright, what's the next game plan? She finds out from Shelby that when they took down the whole network, you know, the jamming for communications, there was one thing that was still going off. So they're like, okay, that must be where the bomb is. Now Alex has to devise a plan with all the people that she's with, and Shelby's like, what do you mean all the people? It's like, yeah, I'm with people, can trust them, we'll see. And this all gets crazy because now we're trying to figure out who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. But by the end of this episode, we realize we don't actually know who's good or who isn't. Because I was like, something's not right. Something's really not right about this. It's just something so off. And they're not really trying to... So, anyway. We get to Alex, and Alex and Booth are making out, but then they get interrupted. Nema calls because Nema needs to debrief Ryan on what's going on. This is where Alex realizes that she's on the outside. She's on the outside. She's not getting back on the inside. And Booth has actually been officially contacted by the AIC. Alex doesn't know about it, and Booth doesn't know who else is being contacted. He's trying to speculate who could it possibly be. He's thinking maybe Sebastian, because Sebastian's been doing a lot of late nights, and also he's been off. Harry's like, Sebastian, what's been going on with you? What, are you okay? Sebastian's ignoring him. Diana is a vault. Diana isn't letting anyone know what's going on with her, so Booth is trying to figure out, okay, maybe it's her. I'm thinking it's Leon. It has to be Leon. No one's really paying too much attention to him except for Shelby. Shelby is still sleeping with him, and this is where Shelby decides that she needs to go and make a move. Shelby talks about how her family, you know, even though they have a general relationship, it doesn't mean it's a good relationship. They have very different opinions on things. Because of that, Shelby doesn't really like spending Thanksgiving with them. Like, you haven't spent any... Anyway. Alex is getting a little more cozy. And when I say cozy, I mean friendly with Harry. Harry is trying to pump her with information, trying to see if he has everything straight. Harry irritates me because you know that he's trying to get information out of Alex. And he's like, okay, you fill me in on the intel. You feel like Owen might be the mole or there's something off with him. That's why you were going stupid. Cool. I'm going to go and talk with my people. You go and talk with your people and Ryan and see how it goes from there. Ryan is still trying to decide with Nema what's the next best course of action. Owen is talking to, what's her name? Leah? And Leah's just like, here's how this goes, Dad. You're still trying to figure out for yourself what side you're on. Do you want to find out who blacklisted you, or do you want to be my father? Yeah, he's like, I want to be your dad. I'm still here. It's like, alright, we'll see how this goes. The task for this week is to come up with a cover story. That's the only way they can get to go to Thanksgiving to be with their families. Now, that's going to be hard for some more people than others. In present day, Alex is going and she's cutting off everyone's, you know, necklace bombs. And they're formulating a plan for how they're going to get out of there. They're currently in a bunker, in a safety bunker, but they know they have to leave pretty soon. Diana's still hurt, and they're like, alright, so how are we going to transport her and disable this bomb? But they're like, no, it's not a regular bomb, it's like a nuclear bomb, which is pretty much, it's alive. It's alive, there's organisms inside, which is the reason why the chain reaction is able to occur. So they need to go and either heat it or cool it for it to be disarmed. And the great thing is, by doing that, the enemy won't even know that they did it, so the AIC wouldn't be able to figure it out. We see this woman, clearly this female profile in AIC war gear, come in and talk to Reina. Who is it? Nema. Nema is there talking to her sister, and this is where we see what's really going on. Because at first I thought, okay, maybe Nema, you know, went in as a mole, and that's why she's trying to crack the AIC. Here's what's actually going on. Miranda wanted an in. Miranda wanted an official in to the AIC. That's why she was trying to enlist Booth and see who else could who could already be a part of it. She wasn't really trying to test to see okay, how are we going to take it down? Miranda was trying to see how could she get in and be a part of the whole thing, if she wasn't already pulling the strings in the background to begin with. Nima goes and talks to Reina, lets it be known that the AIC, they're not evil, they're not a terrorist group, they're trying to reform the CIA and America in general. Because of the fact, I'm like, dang, all these shows are really speaking to what's currently going on. The AIC's goal is, again, to reform all of the agencies, the government agencies, and also the American ideology and mythology. It's the fact that the system is broken. It's always been broken. It's always been skewed to one side or the other. And it's not fair because you have people who are like, oh, it's all one, unity, land of opportunity. Yes, land of opportunity. But, and there's a whole lot of people, but from the jump, and let's be real, from the jump, it was never fully unified. Never. And, for example, people who look like them, people who possibly sound like them, some people, a lot of people, actually a lot more people than probably realized, would happily be like, deport their asses, deport them, regardless of what they're doing, deport them. And it's just like, you know, it's just, why are we fighting for a country like this? We need to go and reform it and really change it. It was like the alt-white, alt-right wing, all that stuff. It's just too much. It's too much. It's so skewed. It's so messed up. We need to do something about it. Shelby is trying to get it in. So she goes and talks to the U.S. Army General and lets her know that we have an agent inside and that we're going to, I can help her if you help me help her. And it's like, okay, thank you for your intel. Shelby, you know, when she's still undercover as Leon's girlfriend, is trying to figure out with Nima, no, I talked with Leon and it didn't work. Leon kind of seemed closed off when I was talking about, you know, pro guns, pro this, pro that. It's just like, Leon is a victim of violence and a society of violence. Why don't you go in guns a-blazing? Why don't you actually go in with that mentality? You need to go and play the whole sympathy card. That's what you need to do. Now everyone's talking about their case stories, and because they have to lie to their families. They have to lie to their families and come up with a good cover. So everyone's talking. Alex is like, I'm going back to Bangladesh to work on my book. Ryan's saying I have to go back out on duty, and so this is my last time seeing you guys for a while. Originally, Sebastian was having a hard time, and it was really Harry's fault that kept knocking it out. But Harry was right with what he was saying. Sebastian said, you know, I need to go back to, I'm going on a missions trip, and a part of that missions trip includes going to the, what is that thing called? What is that thing called? Where they, like, reprogramming camp or something? It was something weird. It was like, oh, conversion camp. Harry said, excuse me? Porqué? What? Conversion camp. Now, the thing is, Diana, she failed. She failed because she couldn't come up with a good lie. She tried, maybe I'll go and take the bar somewhere else, do a lot of this, do a lot of that. Everything that she was saying, her parents could check up on her. And you could tell that she was doing that on purpose. Leah said, no, you failed. Everyone else's passes except for you. Harry's trying to figure out, okay, what's going on with Sebastian? Conversion camp for the second time? Oh, so there is something there. Lord, the fact that Sebastian has a what? Oh my God, Jesus. There's so much going on. Now, their second part is to cut off someone from their life. Cut off someone that they hold dearly and never make contact with them again. I'm like, dang, what is with this organization? Ryan and Alex aren't in a good place right now. They're like, Alex is like, what am I being held back from? I can't tell you. It's classified. You know, now Alex is working with her team in present day to go and try and find the bomb. This is where we have Miranda. She's using Shelby to eavesdrop on the, what do you call it? To eavesdrop on the Army General. But why is she doing that? More so because her people is in there. And she hears the fact that the General's like, we're going to go and bomb the place. We're going to bomb the place, smoke it out. I already told you what Nima told to Reina. Reina was over. She said, I don't care what their mythology is. I don't agree with it. It is so convoluted. It is so messed up. It's so wrong. And I can't. when Miranda confronts the Army General says, I'm pulling rank right now, so it doesn't, dang, my people are in there, I have to go and help them, I have to go and save them. Now Alex is trying to figure out, okay, is her whole team, is this whole SEAL team still working with her or not? She doesn't want to go and split them up because she doesn't trust any of them. But Leon decides that he's going to stay back with Diana. I'm thinking, suspicious. Red flags, red flags. So I'm like, okay. Harry wants to go with Sebastian because he doesn't really trust Sebastian. He wants to keep an eye on Sebastian. And then something's not right about that other two, because Diana can't really go since she was just tortured. So Alex goes with Harry and Sebastian. Now we see Harry back home with MI6, and he's talking with his handler. And his handler, at first I thought Harry might have had a thing for his handler's husband, but then I was like, no, there's something more to this. There is something way more to this. And he gives her a note. This note was definitely in code. I don't know what type of code that was, but it kind of looks like the same stuff that all of these episodes were entitled. They seem like they're kind of like scrambled up, almost like a Morse code. But she was just like, this is where we find out that Harry's actually trying to potentially recruit Ryan and Alex, because they're trying to get a strong footing with the U.S. intelligence agencies and their agents, because they're trying to break away from MI6. So they're trying to do their own version of, what is it, AIC. And I'm like, oh, because with the whole Britex thing, they're like, we can't go and be a part of the foolery that's been going on. Leah throws Diana a bone. It's like, break it off with your family, and I'll allow you to go and continue this program. Diana said, no, my family actually keeps me grounded. They're the only reason why I'm not going and torturing people. So I don't care what's going on with your own personal life and how it's messed up with you, but there's some people who actually have good relationships with their mommy and daddies. I was like, oh, that was too much. Now Owen going and snooping around in his daughter's backpack and sees this letter with information. He's like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm like, fool! It's too obvious that the information's right there. Shelby's trying to create this new case by saying, no, I'm sorry, my dad was abusive to my mom, not to me, but I always felt weak and defenseless because of that, so I went and got myself a gun so I could always feel like I could defend myself or defend others. Now, while, you know, trying to go and weasel her way back in good with Leon, the thing with that is, now we have, in present day, Alex is having an issue of Sebastian. He almost falls. He almost falls while they're climbing through these vents. And they were carrying something, I think like a canister, possibly for the bomb. And it made all that noise. So now their location is compromised. Oh, Harry's convinced. It's Sebastian, it's Sebastian, it's Sebastian. Alex is like, I don't care. Right now, I'm still keeping an eye on both of you because I don't trust either of you. Let's go. Harry is still trying to figure out what his game plan is. They're like, okay, who can you trust? His handler's like, who can you trust? You know, Alex, maybe Diana, she's hard to crack. I don't know what the AIC thing is right now. I don't know who could be part of it, but I'm keeping my eye on those people. It's just like, what about Sebastian? It's like, so I guess you're keeping a spy on the agents. Like, we have to keep a spy on the spies. Come on now. We have to keep a spy on the spies. Ryan finally gets contacted by the AIC because he thought that it was over. But nope, they gave him a taser. Because there's this guy in the cyclist that bumped into Ryan. I'm like, Ryan, you're so gullible. You really didn't see that? And next thing you know, it's like, go and taser that bald guy over there. Ryan has this look of, oh man, what did I get myself into? Alex finally sees Shelby, and this is where Nima comes in. It's like, you've been taken off of the case. You're going to go back to New York. You're going to go back to the FBI. And Miranda wanted to speak with you, but she got pulled away from something else. I'm thinking, did Miranda get pulled away from being recruited into the AIC? Or handling the AIC? Is that what's going on? Because it's still not 100% clear. That's the irritating part. Now, there was this weird scene between Harry's handler's husband and him. And at first I was like, wait a minute. Why are they so close? Like, what's going on there? But no, it was, I guess they were all actually close friends, and Harry's handler's father, or maybe his father, went and covered up the fact that Harry's best friend committed suicide, best friend, boyfriend, whatever it was. I don't know the full details there because they were kind of vague about it, but I'm like, okay, they're trying to build up this case for Harry. We get it. He's the main character this season. It's fine. It's fine. We're only in season 2. Oh yeah, and by the way, Quantico is going to come back on the 23rd on Mondays from now on. I believe still at 10, but on Mondays, which makes sense because this show at 10 on a Sunday and the ratings have been steadily going down. I'm sure for DVRs, that's where the bulk of the ratings still are, but it's still one of those things where I was like, oh crap, now they're switching the days. That's usually not a good sign for TV, but the fact that they're putting it on a Monday though, that could be a great sign. That could be, they're like, we're giving this another shot. We're seeing if maybe we can get people on a different day, but still at 10 for something like this. Alright, so now it's Sebastian, and I didn't agree with the whole thing of Harry going and do something else while Sebastian and Alex work together. I get it, she doesn't trust Sebastian the least, but still, they go and they look at the bomb and they realize there's something off with it. It's not what they thought. It's a trap. It's a trap. The bomb isn't just ready to blow like they thought it was. It's actually something that is more so the FBI style. So you're like, oh, the FBI's trying to kill everyone in there. They're trying to take out the agents, everyone. But why? But why? And that's when we realize, oh. So they go and run. Somehow everyone rendezvous at the same time. Harry finds the lighter. This is where we see Diana and Diana and Leon, and they all get caught by the AIC. And it made absolutely no sense to me because, again, I'm looking at this like, this is all a little bit too convenient. This is really convenient. Now, Orion had to go and deliver that guy. He tied the guy up, and he felt guilty because he felt like, oh man, this is pretty messed up. He ties the guy up. Leon kills the guy, and Diana, what do you call it? She cleans it up. And they're all officially a part of the AIC. And that was the major tip. It's like, okay, if they're all a part of the AIC, then why are they pretending like they're part of the... She went and got tortured. They were using her. It was just like the wheels were spinning. The wheels were churning. He was talking to Alex. He proposed to her, and I'm thinking, okay, so what happened? Why are they on the outs? Like, it makes sense because there's always something, but there must have been something to pull them apart. Unless it's a trick. Actually, no, it's not. No, it's not. Leah tells her father, you know, I actually have information, but the thing is, you messed up. You messed up. You got an operative killed, and then your name got leaked, and you were just so bad at your job. One thing after the other. That's the reason why you got kicked out. And the fact that you chose to look at that information over to have a relationship with your daughter speaks volumes regardless of what you say. So this is over. Alex is over it because Miranda's just like, I'm taking you off the case. She said, no, that's not happening. I'm still doing this. I'm still doing this. I'm doing whatever I want to do. It is what it is. This is where we see in present day that, where I told you, like I told you, Ryan, Diana, and Leon are all officially part of the AIC, and Nema's crying because she's just trying to protect her sister from this. It's like, I didn't want her to get involved in this. Everyone gets separated from Alex, and I felt like I heard gunshots, like, oh my gosh, were any of them killed, or am I just hearing things? Next thing we know, Alex is trying to fight back against the one guy who's holding him. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Why is it one guy? It's Ryan! It's Ryan! Ryan goes, pushes her past this, like, laser grid, and tells her, if you move past it, the bomb will go off and kill everyone. I'm like, wait a minute. So the instructor from Quantico, all these people from Quantico, I'm starting to think, who's actually the bad guy? Because that's what they make you realize. Is it the whole organization of the FBI, the CIA is corrupt, and so they're trying to go and reform it from the inside out, because Miranda, I could see Miranda trying to do some hero stuff like that. I think that might be the actual twist. I can't see Miranda and all these people just flipping, but the fact that they're doing all of this, the reason why they were initiated and it had to be such a gruesome initiation was so that you can see how far. Come subscribe, let me know what you think. Again, this show comes back on Monday, January 23rd. I really hope that at 10. So I really, really, really hope that this show gets a third season. I really hope this isn't like the kiss of death. I really hope that putting it on Monday, because that's a good day. It's not like they're trying to push this on a Friday at 10. That's when I'd be like, oh crap, it's over. But let me know what you think.